has a ghost story that's been passed down through the generations. But what if those legends were true? My name is Miranda Young, and I'm the Ghost Biker. Hey everyone, happy Thursday night. Finally back. I can't believe it's been, I guess 2 weeks since I've been on here. Kind of took a little bit of an unexpected hiatus, but I am here. I'm back, excited to be here, and I'm glad that you are too. So it's Thursday night, and this is our first Ghost Biker Garage since season 6 ended. I know we had a little bit of an extended season there, carrying on over here into November, where we had some Behind the Screams live. We had a couple guests. I guess the last time that I was here with you guys, I had Mr. Lee from the Renfro Valley Entertainment Center, as well as Jessica from the Rock Castle Tourism Commission. They were on, and we were talking about the last episode of season 6, which would have been episode 5. And the way we ended it, we were going to do another live investigation at Rugby, but just like with the paranormal, plans change, unexpected things happen. So I'm glad to be back. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Just want to say hello to the folks over here in the chat room before we get started. It probably will be a shorter episode tonight. I wanted to make sure to be able to come on and talk a little bit, but it'll be as long as you guys stay on and chat with me. Who knows? It might end up being a full episode, but I just want to say hello to everyone. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Miss Susan Purcell, good evening. It was great seeing you on Small Business Saturday. Hello to Miss Sonia Thompson from The Walking Dead. Carl Jarrell, all the way from up in, I want to say West Virginia, but it may be Virginia. So please correct me if I'm wrong, Carl, but with Dark Sky Paranormal. Mr. Jim Cody, happy holidays to you as well. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And hello, Sylvain. It's great to see you. And Michael, thank you so much. Yes, this is a banister from here on the second floor of my farmhouse. Hopefully soon I will be in the new garage, but I always look at this and I feel like it looks like some type of like baby crib or something behind me, but it is from the loft here in my farmhouse. Hello, Tracy. Thank you so much. I know you tuned into most of the episodes there during our season. And hello to Mr. Daryl Paulette. It is good to see you, and it is good to be back. And thank you so much for your kind words, Tracy. Miss Nancy Weems, I hope you're doing well this evening. Yeah. So originally what we were going to do is we were going to do a live there at Rugby, and we are still going to do that, hopefully coming up here in December. But my mom ended up having a total hip replacement surgery 2 weeks ago today, and so I've been there at her house helping her out, as well as working double shift there at the jail while Chris was down in Florida visiting her family. So had to take care of some things there with work and with family, and so 2 weeks wasn't able to do a show. So definitely appreciate the love and light that folks have been sending, as well as prayers. Those are always needed and always very much appreciated. So thank you all so much. That really does mean a lot. She is doing well. Who knew that total hip replacement surgery was a go home procedure where you get to go home the day of? I would have never known, but we are back, got some really cool things going on. So I wanted to take tonight to come on. I don't have a guest, so you're just going to have to sit and listen to me for a little bit tonight. But I wanted to talk a little bit about season 6, maybe some potential changes that will be coming up for season 7. I already got some cool things planned for that, but I wanna get your suggestions and opinions on that. Also some interesting things that we've got going on at the historic Scott County Jail and at historic Rugby. So I want to, go on here, talk a little bit about some of the different cool things that we did do. So just to kind of recap, we'll start with season 6, and, just to kind of recap on that, we did things totally different this season. We did all live episodes, which I gotta say was just an absolute blast. I loved interacting with everyone. I thought we got some really great activity, and we were able to visit some really cool places and really highlight those places and hopefully get awareness out so that folks can go in and visit those places. Now, first, we did it themed as historic villages, historic homesteads, or museums. And so with each of these places, they all fell into a one, if not two of those criterias. Also, they were locations that are typically not investigated locations. Maybe if they have been investigated, they've been investigated less than a handful of times. A couple of them had never been investigated before. And so the first episode, we traveled here just down the road to Rugby, Tennessee, and investigated the historic village of Rugby. On the second night, we ended up investigating Heritage Hills Entertainment Center, which is up in London, Kentucky. Beautiful London, Kentucky. We've done several different events there, some Ghost Biker Harley events up in the area. On that one, I was investigating with my two best friends, Christy Sumner and Tiffany White, both incredible investigators that I love investigating with, as well as Kelly Burton, who is the director of tourism commission there in London, Kentucky. We got some interesting activity there. That place has only ever been investigated one time, and it was more of a paranormal one-on-one, paranormal one-on-one. But we did get some really interesting activity that night, and we also set the cameras up and did some investigating without the cameras. And then, of course, on our third investigation, my friend Tiffany White traveled with me to Hey Good Meal there in Pickens, South Carolina. And I gotta say that place was so much fun, so active, and we had so many things go wrong during the investigation, but it made for an amazing investigation as well as some really intriguing and interesting activity. That one was w I loved playing poker with the spirits there, got a lot of really interesting flashlight activity. Brandon Cooper from Supernatural Inc. and Shaman Sundays joined us on that investigation. And I love the fact that on each of these investigations, somebody from the location ended up going with us on the investigation. And being a location owner myself, it's really cool to be able to see how the spirits seem to identify and really interact with the people who are at these locations on a regular basis. So it was really fun and a really great twist to add these folks to the investigation. Now, again, that's something kind of different than what we typically do here on the show. Normally, I'm either a solo investigator or I have one other person with me. But that was great to be able to do that, to see how the activity changed. So on the fourth investigation, we traveled up to Appomattox, Virginia. That's where I was joined by Mr. Darrell Paulette, and we investigated Clover Hill Village. Now, that one was really cool because that's one that's only been investigated a few times, and primarily by Darrell and his team, Bedford Paranormal. But, we investigated the old church there as well as the old school, a couple of the old cabins, the Confederate, bunk area. This place was really cool. If you missed any of these episodes, you can go back and watch them on, the Ghost Biker Explorations Facebook page, YouTube channel, and, on www.ghostbikerexplorations.com. I highly encourage you guys to go back because we're still going through evidence and we're going to re-release the episodes. Right now, I'm estimating in February, we're going to be re-releasing those episodes and playing the evidence that we captured, as well as some of the footage that you didn't see when we did the investigation afterwards, or in some cases before. Now, the final episode, we got to travel up to the Renfro Valley Entertainment Center in the Kentucky Hall of Fame um, uh, county there in Rockcastle County, Kentucky. And so on that, I was joined by Lee, who was the operations director there, as well as Dr. Christy Sumner. And so we had a lot of activity there inside of the old barn. And then we also had an extreme amount of activity there inside of Heritage Hall, which is the area where they have the offices set up. Now, we set up a bunch of static cameras. We also did some off camera investigating. And so that we will be showing there during the episode when we release it there in February. So if you guys want to really be, I mean, you guys were very involved during the season. We got some great suggestions on things to do. You guys were seeing and hearing things. I mean, this was the most interactive season yet, and you guys really stepped up and are the reason that this was the most interactive season. And so I encourage you to go back, watch those episodes, and take down some timestamps of some things that happened. And if you'll send those to me either via messenger or email or however you want to send it, we will definitely go back. I'll look at those times. I've already had some people send me some of that, and we will give you a shout out as well as post your message there where you sent the timestamp in the episodes whenever we re-release that. So it's just another step to be, to make this an even more interactive season. Now, the re-release of the episodes, they will look like your typical Ghost Biker episode with where I will tell the story in the beginning, and it'll be set up just like the investigation with the replay of the live. So really, really looking forward to getting those out. And right now, unless anything unexpected happens, I am going to be putting those out come February. So that should give me time to go through everything that I need to go through as far as all the static camera footage and the audio and that sort of thing. It's a lot for one person to go through. So just definitely be on the lookout for that. So I want to look back over here at the comments because I want to make sure that that I don't miss anyone. Yes, Michael, I guess you could say that my mom is a total hipster now. She may have to have that second one redone as well, but yeah, she is definitely, we could call her a hipster. And thank you, Nancy. Again, prayers are always appreciated. Tracy says she had a knee replacement and they kick everyone the same day. That is absolutely amazing to me that they're able to do that now. Lori West says, first time watching you. Hey, Lori, thank you so much for watching. It was great meeting you over at the historic Scott County Jail this week. I know you saw the Paranormal Quest video that the guys put out. And so we're going to be actually highlighting that here pretty soon. The guys traveled to from Paranormal Quest traveled to the historic Scott County Jail and had an amazing investigation. It was just I'm very very thrilled with how the investigation turned out. So we're actually going to be highlighting that on the jails page. And then D Hoot asks if there's going to be any lives coming up anytime soon. Yes, ma'am, there will be. This is something, and I kind of want to get your all's opinion on this. I'm actually anticipating doing a lot more lives coming up. Whenever I was with a team, I used to do lives every month. And then when I started doing Ghost Biker, I essentially kind of didn't do lives very, very often just because, it takes a lot to film these episodes and the time that's put into it. But, and we would keep it a secret for when the episodes would come out. But we had so many people watching and so many cool things happening that I really enjoyed the lives, and I would really like to do those, whether those I still want to put out full-scale episodes, but you guys tell me what you would like to see. If you would like to see more lives, maybe, some lives, several lives a month, maybe, or at least 1 live a month, but maybe a couple, and still have the episodes that come out in the season, or would you rather the lives replace the seasonal episodes that come out? You tell me, because I wanna put out, I'm just documenting my travels and, putting these really cool locations out there that a lot of people haven't ever heard of before. And or maybe they have and they're seeing it in a different light. But, you tell me if it's something that you would rather see, if you would rather see the lives and interact with those, um, rather have the produced episodes. I'd really like to know, because, a lot of time goes into putting these episodes together, and, a lot of time goes into the travel. And so, if we're doing these lives, some of these places, they're not going to necessarily be commercial locations. They may be more, locations that, you know, some bridges, some cemeteries, some, places again that maybe you can't necessarily go and investigate on a regular basis, like the jail, that sort of thing. But yeah, you tell me. So I'm gonna go continue looking through these comments here. Spirits always seem to draw aces and eights in poker. Absolutely. If you missed that poker game that we did there at Hey Good Meal, definitely go back and check that out. That was episode 3 of season 6. And it was right about an hour into the episode. To me, had some incredible flashlight activity, some really intelligent stuff going on. I don't really know how you can deny some of the interesting things that was happen with that. Dee says October was a great month for your viewers, and thank you. Thank you all so much for watching. I got to say, I know by the time the end of the season rolled around, I mean, we had on these lives, we had over 300 people on the lives at one time, which was unlike anything that I've ever experienced on any of my lives. And I know we had over 2,000 views by the time the episode was over. And I think at last count, the episode of the final one was up to 25,000 views at the last bit. So thank you guys for sharing that and putting that out, and being interactive on it. Addie says, "Have you ever taken domestic animals on investigations to see how they react?" We investigate with Sally all the time at the historic Scott County Jail. She is constantly getting activity. As far as myself, because I'm on the motorcycle and all that with Ghost Biker, no, I don't. But we do get a lot of activity at the jail with Sally, and actually have some of that evidence posted there on the jail. But great question. Hello to Dino from the Late Late Horror Show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I appreciate you checking out the new stuff. We're always trying to definitely get new stuff out there. And yep, that it will be. We'll call that a Ghost Biker Valentine's Day present to everyone whenever we get these episodes out. So I'll be letting you guys know, keeping you posted on how that comes up. Hello to Miss Crystal Hill from down in Southern Alabama. Thank you so much. Alex Lau from over here in my neck of the woods. And hey, Janet, hey, it's all right if you're late. We're just glad you're here. And let's see. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Addie, on lights. I'm not really sure, but maybe you mean lives. They're it's all a preference for people. We have people that the episodes were originally supposed to only be 2 hours in length, and then 2 hours of investigating. But if we've got people on that's interacting, it provides something for everyone. So, when you have a lot of people that are on and the spirits are interacting, we just keep on going. So, just gives you something to go back and watch later. And thank you I've gotten a lot of really good compliments from people who have really enjoyed the live shows. So again, thanks for the opinions on that. I'll definitely be going back, looking at all of this. Um, David Anderson, hello. It was good to see you in London, Kentucky. Miss Kim Brady from South Carolina. Um, that's a good point, Carl. I could do a mixture. Producing definitely eats up time, and that's essentially why we did that this season, because this year has been an extremely busy year for me. I did move halfway across the state. We did expand our business at the historic Scott County Jail, and just getting moved back in and just all the stuff that was happening this year. I didn't have time to travel and then produce and put the episodes together. So that's essentially how this started, was that we were going to say that or we were just going to do all these episodes live and spend the entire month of October traveling. So it did work well. And then the idea was to kind of mix it up and make produced episodes out of these, just in case people don't want to participate in the lives. I mean, obviously that's a choice of how you want to spend your time. So yeah, in this one, you're going to get the best of both worlds. We may continue to do that with some of the uh, more active locations, but it's good to keep some of the stuff secret as well, and try to put out some of the produced episodes. So we'll just kind of see how things go. But again, like I said, just kind of let me know your thoughts on this, because I can honestly tell you, these episodes, when I travel to somewhere, I spend months researching the location. Then we do the investigation. Then if we're there at the location anywhere from, 12 to 14 hours, we've got, 7 to 8 static cameras as well as recorders. You've got to go through all that evidence. So 8 cameras times 12 hours, you can do the math on that, and then going in and producing the episode. So that's why we just have the season. And because 5 episodes takes a lot of time for me to put together, being a solo investigator. So the lives definitely cut a heck of a lot of time off. And like I said, they do allow me to be more interactive. So we'll see. We'll still continue to do the episodes like they are, but it does also allow me to put out more content. So we will be definitely doing more lives throughout the year. Whether they'll take the place of seasonal episodes, that's yet to be determined. But we will also continue to put out more, even if we continue to do them like what I'm doing right now, because I do need to try to put out more content. I also want to put out more bike vlogs and more travel videos, because I'm constantly traveling on the motorcycle, and I get to see some really cool places from behind the handlebars. So definitely going to try to do more recording with that and highlighting some of those. They may be shorter, but there'll be some more travel vlogs. That's been a goal of something I've wanted to put together as of late. And so it's just with time, with everything, that's just something we don't have enough of. I want to definitely do that. See, a lot of good comments here. Hello, James Brady. Got to say, shout out to you for that wonderful music box. Used it all season, got some great results with it. So thank you, James. Loved that, and looking forward to using it on future investigations. Um, Dino says, I love the produced stuff, and you should have a show on a network, but the lives will be more popular on here. And that is an extremely good point. First off, thank you for your compliment. When we originally put the produced episodes out, I designed my season kind of more of the way a network would do the shows. Um, you know, that's not always the best for the platform that it's on, and the platform of YouTube, which is instant gratification and the algorithms and all that stuff. If you're not putting out new content, you're not staying in the algorithm. So it's a fine mix between trying to not only to refine your product, but also distributing your product out the right way, in the right format. And you're exactly right. Lives are definitely more popular there on Facebook and YouTube. Also want to try to pull in more TikTok. I don't like TikTok. I love browsing on it, but I don't like making stuff on it, but I need to do that. So hopefully I'll have more TikTok stuff coming up here very soon. And Sonia says, I like the lives and the regular episodes. Thank you very much. Um, and Janet loves the live streams. Um, yes, definitely some folks in different time zones. And it can. It's the thing is, it is challenging, because depending on where I'm traveling to, and I have to go to whatever time zone I'm in. So I am over here on the East Coast in East Tennessee. Investigate a lot of places over in this area, and I know some folks like D Hoots in Central or Mountain Time. I know we had Dee Dee who was over in Pacific Time, and she was on every single episode the entire time. That just amazes me when people choose to spend their time. Um, and unfortunately, I know my mom likes to watch the episodes, and she only makes it through about the first hour because they are later. Now, the produced episodes, we do keep those shorter. We keep those between 20 minutes to 40 minutes because with those, I don't want to eat up people's time. I want to keep them short and to the point. But the lives, they tend to get longer because obviously you get to see everything that happens in the lives. With these, they're organic, they're raw. You get to see the equipment failures, the setup, the teardown. It's kind of the ugly, boring side of the investigations when we do the lives. But if I've learned one thing this season, it's just how forgiving the paranormal community is when your lives drop and that sort of thing. Um, People stayed on, because they wanted to see what happened and where things went. So that was something when you're used to putting a produced episode together and cutting out all that boring stuff, the setup and the problems and everything. You get to see it on live. There's no holding back on all of that. Um, Matthew, thank you so much from Dark Echo, stopping by to say hi. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Congrats on your all show. I know y'all are trucking away on your show. Good stuff there. Kim says, we're hoping to plan another trip up your way again before too extra long. We want to go to the jail again and to rugby. Definitely when you come up, you need to hit both. The jail has been very active the last little bit. Things tend to get a lot more active when it's colder, and we are climate controlled, y'all. So definitely want to come and check us out during the colder months when it's a little too cold to investigate at some of those other locations. Let's see here. Wow. Keep these comments coming in. Thank you guys so much. David says Christmas is coming up. Go check out Miranda's items. Well, thank you, David. Yeah, I do have I have a full scale shop there on www.ghostbikerexplorations.com where we've got hoodies, t-shirts, I think 3 different t-shirt designs, magnets. Actually going to have some new merchandise coming out really soon, as well as some new drawings. Since I'm finally sitting down, I have like 3 commission drawings that I'm working on, trying to get those done, and I'm going to have some new also some new drawings of some haunted locations. Hopefully those will be coming out here very, very soon as well. But yeah, thank you, David. Check out the gift shop. That is actually how I fund my web series. Um, Everything is self-funded like it is for other content creators. The channel's not monetized or anything like that. But I do fund my travels and the content by the sale of Ghost Biker merchandise. Let's see here. Carl says maybe season finale could be an amalgam produced from lives, whatever you do in the meantime. That's actually a really, really cool idea. I'll definitely keep that in mind. That would actually be a really cool thing to do. Hello to Mr. Ronnie Anderson from Bedford Paranormal. Yes, D Hoot, those lives, I think that those would be cool. We can do those kind of like a um, sidecar view. We always call it kind of like um, we are we call it the attachment there. Let's see here. Got France right there with Sylvain. Like I said, always glad when I see Sylvain on here. I met him through Jess Rogie when I was on the Jess Rogie show, and so Sylvain's always been awesome and supporting. So thank you so much. Let's see here. James says, I love the live episodes because you're not guaranteed activity, but you seem to get a lot of it. I am really lucky that I do tend to get a lot of activity there on the lives. And honestly, that's why I love the doing these lives, because you never know. And you really do get to see it all. And I kind of like it when, you I feel like the times that you don't get things are the times that really validates the activity that you do get. So yeah, definitely really enjoy that, doing those lives. Let's see here. Uh, I do have poker chips. I actually have Ghost Backer poker chips, flashlights. I'll get with you, Addie, on that. Um, and thank you, Dee. Yeah, the hoodies and stuff, they really do hold up. We've got right now we've got black ones and gray ones. And so I actually need to go in on there. It's been a minute. I've got to update the website and stuff. But if you just go to the website, you can actually go to the merchandise tab, and everything should be up to date on all of that. Hello to Miss Jamie Barker. Thank you so much. Brandon Cooper, glad you made it. Was just talking about you. And hey, good meal. I know that Tiffany and I want to plan another trip down there to do a little more investigating, especially there on the petroglyphs. And I think that if we can get some time cleared up here during the colder months, I think that might be a good time to do that. Let's see here. Sylvain says it's 3:30 a.m. there, and you can watch because you work at night. So I can say I have a U.S. schedule. That's awesome. Um, I mean, how can you be in the paranormal and not be a night owl? I that's one of the things I love. I do a lot of my drawing and editing and stuff at night, and I love my other night owls out there. Let's see. Absolutely, absolutely. Get with me on that, Matthew. I've definitely got some Ghostbacker hoodies there. Let's see. And Chris says, always been my opinion that even the energy of remote viewers frees into the pool of the spirits enjoy. Yeah, and apparently I can't read, but you are exactly right. That's one of the things that we noticed, and we actually talked about when I was on Dream Interpretations by Dee Dee. We were talking about the energy of the remote viewers and the folks that are watching. It always seemed like on these episodes, the more viewers we had and the more that the people interacted, the more the activity spiked and went up. I mean, we got some great questions and had some great ideas. When you're a solo investigator, you've got to be creative, and you're constantly pulling from yourself. You're not feeding off of anybody else, but there was so many great people to feed off of and work with these investigations. I think that really brought a lot of the activity out. So that is definitely a great analysis there. And Kim says, maybe we can join you at Hey Good Meal. I would absolutely love that. And thank you, Ronnie. I do appreciate that. So while you guys kind of think and stew on the live episode question, because like I said, I'm always open for opinions. I also want to know some ideas that you guys have on some interesting small locations. I know that I was introduced to Hey Good Meal whenever I did the Hey Good Meal Paracon. Of course, we do the after dark tours there at Rugby. Kelly brought to my attention about the activity there at Heritage Hills. And then, of course, Mr. Daryl Paulette, he wrote I met him there at St. Albans, and he was the one that told me about Clover Hill Village. So I would have never known about some of these amazing locations if it weren't for people reaching out and letting me know. So if you guys have any suggestions of places, I'm totally open to that. So let's see here. A couple things that I have on my schedule here. So, if you follow the historic Scott County Jail, we are going to be starting back up our Jailhouse Informant podcast. This is a podcast that's hosted by myself as well as my business partner, Dr. Christy Sumner. And we do this podcast seasonally there on the historic Scott County Jail Facebook page and YouTube channel. And we talk about things that are going on at the jail. We talk about the history. We talk about some of the paranormal investigators. And we also, the last little bit, we had a really, really interesting season where we talked to other people who co owned or had offices and businesses in other haunted jails around the country. There are a lot of haunted jails around the country, and I think we covered about 8 of them. Everything from, Indiana and Georgia. We were out in Arizona. Um, my goodness, Ohio, we hit Virginia. We hit some of these really cool locations that we talked about the history of those jails. We talked about what they're doing inside those jails and if they have paranormal activity, as well as just some of the very, very interesting history that surrounds the locations themselves. We're going to be picking that back up as well as talking to some of our other paranormal investigators and folks that have had some interesting experiences at the jail. We tend to do this podcast during the winter months, and so we're going to be starting that back up next week. It will be on a new night. So the Jailhouse Informant is going to be airing on the historic Scott County Jail Facebook page, and it will be on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll do that podcast at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday nights, and then we will jump on, or I will jump on to the Ghost Biker Garage at 9 p.m. Eastern. Nothing's changing here, but that will be going on, and it will be going through probably through at least the summer. What we did last time was we would do it during the cold months, and then we started having paranormal investigations every week and tours, and so we weren't able to devote that time to do to do that podcast on a year-round basis. So if you're interested, that's the Jailhouse Informant podcast, and it will be starting next Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Um, Also, let's see here. We are conducting a paranormal poll over on the historic Scott County Jail Facebook page, and let me get that pulled up here. Just going to share my screen for a second there. Okay. Okay, so let me just go back here. Pull that page up. So a lot of really cool things that's going on. We're actually just getting ready to open up our 2024 season. But in the meantime, during what we're calling the darker months, which would be January through early March. So while the time has changed here and it gets dark around 6 o'clock, we're conducting a poll. Our typical paranormal investigations at the historic Scott County Jail runs from 8:30 p.m. Eastern time through 3 a.m. In the morning there, whenever you book. Now, during the months of January through March 10th, we're looking to extend that time by 2.5 hours. So we're looking at, would you rather investigate from 7:30 a.m. or excuse me, 7:30 p.m. to 4 a.m., have that 3 o'clock hour in there, or would you rather start at 6:30 and still go to 3 a.m.? So you're going to get to start a little bit earlier each time, but you might get to go a little longer. But we just wanted to see if people would rather do that investigate or have that extension from either 7:30 p.m. to 4 a.m. or 6:30 p.m. to 3 a.m. So if you'll go over onto the Historic Scott County Jail Facebook page and cast your vote in the comment section on that post right there by either putting A or B. Also on my personal Facebook page, if you're one of my friends, go on there and put that. We would like to know how you would like to extend that time. We're also going to, because we'll be probably changing our hours and not being open during the day, except for by appointment only, there during the month of January. We may actually offer those investigations 7 days a week instead of just Thursday through Sunday. So be on the lookout for that if you're looking to book an investigation at the historic Scott County Jail early on in the first quarter, if you would like to have extended hours, and maybe on some of those typical days that we typically don't do that. Again, going to look at some of the comments over here. Let's see. Lori says you should do an investigation at the Scream Chamber here in Athens. Yeah, the Scream Chamber is fantastic. I've never done an investigation there, but I spoke at an event that was down there. It was the first annual Paracon that they had there, and the name is escaping me. There of what they called it, but I know they get a lot of different activity down there at the old Clegg Mansion, and so yeah, definitely wanna head down there and check that out. Let's see. D Hoot says, "Did you ever find any paranormal stuff in the old newspapers?" I'm not sure what old newspapers you're referring to, or if you're referring to the ones about the jail. Um, I'm not really sure which ones you're talking about, D Hoot, if you could be a little more specific. Um, let's see here. Uh, let's see. Nancy, we are actually working on some stuff across the pond. I was originally supposed to speak there at the Festival of the Unexplained their first year, and some things happened, and I wasn't able to go. But actually working on a few things. We may have some announcements about early. Early to mid year next year that we'll be able to announce on that. Um, Let's see. Addie says, "Other way, I think it extends the witching hour." Yeah, I know. One of those times, if we include that, that does include that 3 o'clock hour. Honestly, anywhere I've ever been, that 3 o'clock hour does not really make a difference. There's the activity seems to be the same. I'm just talking for me personally, and a couple other investigators I know. That doesn't really tend to show, um, or tend to increase or decrease activity. If anything, a lot of the activity seems to get a little bit quieter at that time. But judging by the polls that people have been putting in, most people actually like the 7:30 to 4 a.m. hours on there. But it's just a preference. It's definitely quieter that time. And you never know when it comes to the activity. Ronnie says, "When are you guys going to start booking privates for 2024?" We're working on getting that schedule opened right now. Chris and I are going through pooling our schedules for speaking events and traveling and stuff, getting all that narrowed down. So we're going to definitely, we were going to have that open right around Thanksgiving, but it's going to be this coming week that we're going to have it open, because we were taking that poll to see as far as extending dates and extending time. So we will start booking privates for 2024 this coming week. So be on the lookout for that. And once we get that open, I'll also share that on this page, and we'll definitely make that announcements. D says, "Were you?" Oh, yeah. So we used to read pick out newspapers there for and read stories from our newspaper articles that we have. I don't recall anything paranormal that we've seen in any of those newspapers. But that's definitely an interesting question there. Let's see. Um, hey, John Marshall, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Um, and then Jim says, I would love to see you and Chris investigate the Bijou Theater in Knoxville. I've heard some interesting stories about the theater. Yeah, that theater is actually labeled as one of the top haunted locations in East Tennessee, or actually in Tennessee, period. Um, there's some really cool things about that. I would love to investigate the Bijou. I know we would take class trips there and watch shows when I was in school. So I would definitely love to investigate there. And I know a few other folks that have investigated in there. So I'm just kind of looking at my notes here to make sure I'm not missing anything. I want to mention an event that's going to be coming up. We're working on getting events scheduled for next year, and I've been talking to several different people as far as some specific ghost biker events that's coming up. We've got the Haygood Mill, the second annual Haygood Mill Paracon that's going to be taking place in March. But the first event that I have on my schedule is an event where I have been asked by Paranormal Adventures Event Management, which is Greg TJ Justice, the Boo Crew, author JB Coates. I did their event back in October there at the Hotel Metropolitan, and it was a murder mystery event. It was so much fun. I got invited to do their event on February 17th, and that's going to be taking place at the Thomas House Hotel in Red Boiling Springs, Tennessee, which is definitely a favorite of a lot of folks because you can go there, investigate, and you can spend the night. But this is going to be a really, really cool event. It's another whodunit murder mystery event, and it's going to be taking place there. And if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be a Bonnie and Clyde themed murder mystery party and ghost hunt. So that's going to take place February 17th, 2024, and that's going to be at the Thomas House Hotel in Red Boiling Springs. Tickets are already on sale for that, and so we'll be sharing the link on the page and everything here coming up very soon, so you guys can get your Christmas presents and all that sort of thing, and join us for that event. I know that Paranormal Adventures Event Management puts on some wonderful, wonderful events. So definitely check that out. Like I said, we're working on some other ghost biker events. Hopefully, we'll do another Hogs and Haunts event this year. Just working on details. I'm going to be at the Battlefield Bash again this year in Gettysburg. And then I was talking to Miss Pam Berry. We're hoping to get a motorcycle and ghost hunt event going on up there in the Gettysburg area, as well as St. Albans. We hope to do something with them as well for a ghost biker event. So a lot of really cool things planned that's still in the early stages that we need to talk about and get going, hoping to do more motorcycle rides this year, more events with either Harley or with other biker shops. So stay on the lookout for that. Hopefully we'll get everything planned really early. I know that got a lot with the jail going on. We're going to be having our Blessing of the Bikes event that's going to be taking place in April. And then I know Chris is going to be speaking at the Tennessee Association of Museums. And so that's going to be taking place in March as well. So lots of really cool things going on with the historic Scott County Jail as well as historic rugby. We're going to be opening up our dates at historic rugby for 2024 at the same time that we're opening up our dates for the historic Scott County Jail. We're meeting with the operations director there to finalize a few things for rugby that's going to be coming up. So all of that will be opening up next week. We're also going to be hitting it really, really heavy and really, really hard with our guided ghost hunts there at the first of the year. So definitely keep an eye out for all of that on the historic Scott County Jail, and then also on historyhighwayshaunts.com. That's where you can go to our website, and it's got a link to the jail as well as historic rugby. So you can check all of that out and book your dates. And we definitely suggest you book them early because these dates have been filling up pretty fast. And just I'd be remiss if I didn't mention we are climate controlled. We're not climate controlled at rugby. Those houses, those are not climate controlled. But at the jail, we do have heating and air, and so you can actually come and investigate in the comfort. We also have bathrooms, so it's definitely a more comfortable place to come and investigate. We do suggest you do wear your warmer clothing. We are in an old stone building, so even with heat, things tend to get a little bit more on the cooler side. So dress appropriately for that. But we do have um, a lot of people that love to investigate there in the wintertime. Plus, the activity seems to be a little bit more intense during the colder weather. So um, just again, just kind of looking over the comments here. If maybe I need to do a season just on theaters. Got some great suggestions there. The Apollo Theater in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Um, very possibly could have been a COVID casualty, but yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I think that would be a lot, that would be a fun season to do theaters there. Um, in fact, I'm actually going to a really cool theater tomorrow night in Chattanooga. Gonna be going to the, Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Auditorium Theater down in Chattanooga to listen to, Josh Gates tomorrow night, so I'm so excited. He's my absolute favorite when it comes to paranormal I don't watch a lot of paranormal entertainment shows. Haven't in years. I couldn't even tell you half the people who are on them. But Josh Gates is my absolute favorite. So I'm really, really, really excited to be going tomorrow and listening to him speak down in Chattanooga. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Hello, Vicky Norris. Thank you so much for tuning in here. And then the Old Kentucky Theater in Lexington, Kentucky. I think this may need to be a thing. I think doing some theaters. Of course, we did the entertainment venues here, and definitely wanting to go back to the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame and investigate there next year. So yeah, I'm going to make a note of that. That's definitely going to be that could make for a great season to do all theaters. And oh, Janet, yeah, that would be so much fun to do the Birdcage Theater. Um, let's hook it up. Let's do this, guys. Unless there's anything else, I think we may go ahead and wrap up this show. I'm in the process of getting excuse me. I'm in the process of getting guests lined up here for the month of December. So we're going to be back to our typical format of the Ghost Biker Garage, where we're going to have live guests and we'll be talking about different things that they're doing. We're going to have authors, podcasters, as well as different folks that are doing things here in the paranormal community. Also have some people who are hosting different paranormal events and conventions that are coming up. Give them a chance to come on and promote. Also, one of the things that I'm really wanting to hit next year when we're talking is really talking more topical top shows. I know that I've got a couple guests lined up where we're going to be talking about a couple interesting kind of roundtable type topics that few things that have fascinated me. I'm not going to say too much about that. Hopefully we'll get them on before the first part of the year. I hope to do more with my dear friend Tiffany White. She got to join me on a lot of investigations this past season, and I love investigating with her. So hopefully be getting to do some more things with her coming up here very soon. We've been kind of scheming and planning a few different things. Um, also, so we'll be announcing those. I'll try to put the schedule out here for January, or excuse me, for December and January. And then, like I said, join us if you want to talk a little bit more in depth about jails. Join us during the 7 o'clock hour on next Thursday night, where we will be kicking off a new episode of the Jailhouse Informant with myself and my business partner, Dr. Christy Sumner. So I've got to get caught up on posting pictures from the events and posting pictures from this past season. I've got photos from everything in October. I mean, October was pretty much a blur for me. I think I spent 5 nights in my house. I was traveling so much between that and all the tours that we were doing at the jail and at rugby. October was a real blur, and then we jumped right into November with my mom having surgery and stuff. I haven't this is like the second night this month I've been in my house. So, so I'm trying to get caught up on all that. So I'll be posting pictures from this past season, from some past events. So be on the lookout for that. If I put those pictures up and you're in one of those pictures, please feel free to tag yourself and share and get the word out. Also, anything when it comes to getting these new episodes out, we'll be putting that on there. So I'm trying to make sure I've not missed anything, as well as the different comments here. Ronnie says, if you have an opening on a roundtable, keep me in mind. I absolutely will. I always love talking to you, Ronnie, and getting your opinion. So I will definitely keep you in mind on that. Thank you, Mr. Darrell Paulette, for your kind words, and I definitely will be talking to you soon. And thank you so much, James Brady. Yes, definitely hope to see you guys real soon. And yeah, 5 nights in a month at home is a total blur. So I'm hoping December and stuff will kind of slow down just a little bit. It's been a crazy year. So I thank you guys for tuning in and for watching the show. I say it every show, and I truly mean it, that, time is definitely one of the most valuable things that we have. And so it really means so much to me that you have spent your time sitting here listening to me talk and interacting with me on the show. So again, stay tuned. Some big things. We've got some big announcements with the historic Scott County Jail. We're actually expanding. So can't say too much about that at this moment. We expanded this year with historic rugby, but we are working on an expansion that hopefully we will soon be able to say more about. So yeah, lots going on. You're going to definitely want to tune in, because lots of really cool things are happening here at Ghost Biker Explorations, historic Rugby After Dark, and historic Scott County Jail. So unless there's anything else that anyone wants to add, I want to go ahead and wrap this show up. Again, stay tuned. I will be posting more. Hopefully now that things have kind of calmed down just a little bit, be getting more of those pictures posted and more really cool things out there. And again, if you're looking for a cool Christmas idea, keep me in mind at the Ghost Biker Garage merchandise that we have. Your purchase, and also historic Scott County Jail. We have a really cool gift shop there as well, and it's online. So keep us in mind. You're just a little bit of money goes a long way for a small business. So keep us in mind, as well as your other small business friends. That really does help a whole lot. So until next Thursday night at 7 p.m. on the Jailhouse Informant, and next Thursday night on the Ghost Biker Garage, I hope everyone has a wonderful and blessed week, and we will see you then. Bye.